The U.S. Department of Defense has just released a report identifying Al-Shabaab as the biggest threat to security in Africa. The document also predicts that the terror group could eventually develop global capacity if not confronted effectively in Somalia. Despite many years of sustained Somali, U.S., and international counterterrorism pressure, the terrorist threat in East Africa is not degraded. Shabaab retains freedom of movement in many parts of southern Somalia and has demonstrated an ability and intent to attack outside of the country, including targeting U.S. interests. Several Al-Shabaab members were arrested in the Philippines earlier this year after taking flying lessons. Others have reportedly been trying to source surface-to-air missiles. The ongoing proxy war in Yemen between forces loyal to Saudi Arabia and those backed by Iran puts a huge trail of weapons just across the Gulf of Aden. Highlighting the deadly capabilities of the Al-Shabaab, the New York Times reports a CIA operative was killed in Somalia in recent days. The agent's death was said to be in combat. Details on whether it was a U.S.-led raid or an attack by Al-Shabaab have not been released. We do know the officer was a member of the CIA's paramilitary division, the Special Activities Center, and a former member of the Navy's elite SEAL Team 6. Both the assessment report and the CIA's loss come as the U.S. is considering pulling its 700-plus troops out of Somalia ahead of President Donald Trump's exit from office in mid-January. A draft order has been discussed in Pentagon circles and circulated in the media. The plan would pull all U.S. forces out of Somalia while leaving resources in Djibouti and Kenya. This would make it possible to still operate drone strikes on targets in Somalia. The U.S. has the majority of its reported 5,000 soldiers in Africa based in Djibouti. The 100-page Defense Department report provides data and draws conclusions from findings across the continent. They include a definitive shift in recent months in Al-Shabaab's focus to attack U.S. interests in the region. Somali and U.S. counterterrorism operations against ISIS Somalia have likely degraded the group's operational capabilities. Al-Shabaab attempted assassinations of military leaders and mid-level government officials in Mogadishu and Kismayo. In mid-July, Al-Shabaab attempted to assassinate the Somali Chief of Defense Forces using a vehicle-borne IED, but failed. Al-Shabaab does not pose an existential threat to the Somali government. The report says that 2021 is a crucial year in Somalia due to agreements to start withdrawing international forces. But the document characterizes the Somali army as behind on professionalism and milestones. Those milestones not met include taking the lead on military operations against Al-Shabaab and degrading the terror group's capacity. It also says that Somali soldiers often go unpaid for months. There is one bit of good news, as the military assessment reports improved performance among the Somali National Army's top leadership. ADN TV will continue to post updates on Somalia's security situation.